Hey guys, welcome to WILDsides. Today we'll be learning how to set up a tent properly. Let's get right to it. And to help me out today is my brother Sam and the professional tent setter-upper, Zane. The first step on setting up your tent starts way before you go on the camp out. You must know how to set up your tent, and you also need to know if you have all your parts. So we need our poles, all of our poles. A hammer would be probably really smart to bring. Some stakes, obviously the tent, the ground tarp, and of course the rain fly. Now we know that we got the stuff. We can go on our camping trip. When we get to our campsite, we need to find a flat, even surface to place our tent on. When setting up your tent, safety hazards. So, as you can see, they have picked a nice, healthy tree. No widowmakers is what they call them. Widowmakers are giant dead branches that could fall any moment and land on your tent, and you can kind of figure out what happens next. When you are setting up your tent, you can make it to where it's in the shade in the morning, so you can sleep a little longer, or you can put your tent in the shade in the evening, so it's not a bagazillion degrees inside your tent. Some people like their doors facing the sunrise, or some people like their doors facing the sunset. It is personal preference, so it does not matter which way you do it, just whatever way you want to do it. Now the big question, to tarp or not to tarp? So some people put tarps underneath their tent to pretty much extend the life of their tent, which is very smart. I do not do it because I don't have a tarp. We do not need a tarp because we have a nice footprint. A footprint is pretty much a tarp that is pretty much involved in your actual tent when you buy it. It is very handy, and we honestly don't need an actual blue tarp because the ground is very, not soft, but not hard, so it wouldn't damage our tent. Now it is time to assemble our tent. The first step is to place down your footprint and then your tent over your footprint. Once you have done that, you want to assemble your poles like Sam and our professional tent setter-upper, Zane, are doing. So now that we have assembled the tent with the poles and the actual tent itself, we are going to put on a rain fly. A rain fly is optional. It kind of depends on where you live. Since we live in Oklahoma, it is always about 1,000% humidity, so that means there's going to be dew in the morning, and, well, we don't want to wake up wet. We gotta flip it. One of these buckles is yellow, and this buckle down here is orange. And orange and yellow don't like each other, so yellow must meet up with yellow. So we must flip it. Now that we have our rain fly on, we are going to take these short little poles and put them in to where we have a little kind of overhang or canopy, I guess you could call it. So now that we have completely assembled our tent, we are going to put our tent bags in so they don't blow away. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed learning how to properly set up a tent. My name's Jack. Be nimble, be quick, and I'll see you next time. And this is why you stake it down, kids. So, when you're setting up your tent, it's kind of, whoa. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed learning how to set up a tent correctly. Is that what it was? Or just set up a tent? And you do not want to do it when on sand or like this. There's not very many rocks. As I kicked around the rocks, there is a little bit of rocks, so maybe it would be a good idea to put a tarp down. But since we did not bring a tarp, we don't have the option for that. That's why you should always be prepared.